go fucking shoot. Fucking beautiful. Damn it. Oh, that was a good one. Yep. Yeah, Nick. Oh, that's Carl. Hey, brother.
Good jump.
Fuck yeah.
Excellent jump. A very excellent.
coming right there.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tactical Rifleman. What do you need an address for, Steve? For what address? Here?
No, Cheatham County Jail.
Who?
Cheatham County Jail. Send some flowers to Dave Davis.
Oh, yeah. That's some harsh stuff, guys. I got Steve Holland here. He's in the background doing a little bit of fifth group humor. You got to be a fifth group guy to understand what he was talking about. And I'm a fifth group guy, so funny stuff. All right, welcome back. I know I missed last week. I heard you guys had fun hanging out with Steve Holland, and I literally just got back in town. We were out doing the Mountain Readiness Expo in the mountains of North Kakalaki, and then we did 5 straight days of tactical rifleman classes. We had a great time. Saw a lot of great people, got to hang out with a lot of you guys, a bunch of patrons and stuff. But then it's time for me to unplug. I have my wife with me, but you understand, me and my wife, we're a private couple. And so anyways, the ride home, my phone's just blowing up. I've got all these different people. Like they were still wanting to continue conversations that we had just had for 9 days straight. So anyways, no big deal. It's I blocked a few people. And I will unblock them. I'll unblock them eventually. Maybe there's a couple I won't. But anyway, so I had a quiet couple of days. Emery was here. Emery just left to go home to visit his dog. He's been here a couple days because we've had a bunch of other stuff for Emery to do before he deploys. And we're going to leave that thought right there. You know what is cool, though? What is very cool is Venture Surplus is still sponsoring us. You guys know the deal. Their motto is Venture Surplus brings the surplus store to your door. What I'm talking about is like me growing up, if I wanted stuff from the Army surplus store, you'd have to drive to a nearby Army base, and you go outside Army bases, there's all these little Army surplus stores that have got all the slightly used military gear and everything, and they're always fun to just walk through them. And you always end up buying little trinkets and stuff. But there's so much good stuff there, military spec stuff. And what about if you don't live near a military base? You can go to Venture Surplus at venturesurplus.com. Free shipping, free returns, all that stuff. Good stuff indeed. For those of you that showed up a few minutes early, you'll notice about quarter till, I had to go up, brush my teeth and everything, right? And refill my coffee cup. Got to have my coffee. I've been knocking back a lot of coffee today. I'm wore out, guys. I'm at my wit's end. I have just been going hard. Right before Mountain Readiness was classes here in Tennessee. Right before that was Texas. Anyways, I'm wore out. But those of you that showed up about 15 minutes early for the live stream, you know how we have our little fire screen about to start. I've had them play the video from the Round Canopy parachuting team down in Palatka, Florida, and it's an old TR video. I'm the jump master. We have a whole World War II era C-47 airplane, twin engine airplane. It's actually called the Tycho Bell. And anyways, Emery was wearing a GoPro on his head. We had all kinds of cameras set up and everything. So the video was me doing jump commands in the airplane. We have a GoPro camera out on the wing, me exiting, followed by my son, followed by everybody else, bunch of tactical riflemen, Leaf LeBlanc, Chris Smith, Emery, and then you have we switch the scene to Emery coming down, hitting the ground, and then me coming up, and we end the video like that. The reason why I played that, and the reason why I have it's actually right here. The reason why I have this QR code right here, that is a QR code to my PayPal, exumbris.com. And here's why, because a lot of you that follow us, you know that in 6 June is the 80th anniversary of the D-Day invasion, World War II D-Day invasion. And in France, that's kind of like Independence Day here. That's their big holiday, D-Day. And anyway, they're throwing a big party. It's like a week-long party. But starting, I think the first jump's on the 3rd. We fly over on the 1st. And Last jump is the 9th, but they're doing 9 separate jumps. They're doing 2 jumps on the 5th, no jumps on the 6th. And but basically, it is they're going to be jumping out of World War II airplanes, and it's going to be awesome, right? So today I went down to ATS Tactical Gear and dropped off my son's World War II jacket so he could get the 101st patch. One side, American flag, on the other side. And he's already got his helmet and everything. Emery is pushing back his deployment so that he can go jump with us in the Normandy, France. Some of you other guys are coming. My uniform, my boots, my knee braces, everything are taken care of. So anyways, a team from Tactical Riflemen are going to go jump into Normandy, France. They have 22 C-47 airplanes. They have 1 B-17 bomber, 2 squadrons of privately owned P-51 Mustangs, and it's gonna be a big party. The Horse Soldier Bourbon guys are going. Black Rifle Coffee guys are going. All these other the 82nd Airborne is sending a contingent of active duty troops. 101st Airborne is sending it's going to be a big. There's going to be 3,000 parachutes, and over the whole 9 jumps. And anyways, I'm proud to be able to do this with my son and with Emery and Chris Smith, David Duenas, his daughter Ashley, Jen. We know her by the nickname Skidmark. No, not like that. Get your mind out of the gutter. She got drugged down the runway. Her parachute, high wind, she got drugged down the runway and completely tore through her uniform, tore her shoulder up real bad. But anyways, I've got people already texting me. Turn up audio slightly, please. Turn up audio slightly, please. Turn up audio slightly, please. All right, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Let's see if that's any better. Is that any better? All right, we're gonna see if that is better. All right, a little late now, but everyone says sound is low. I heard you fine though. All right, hopefully it sounds a little better now. Sorry, I didn't see you guys saying that. So anyways, Emery ain't got no money. My son ain't got no money. I'm trying to fit the bill for the Tactical Rifleman team because I know the Horse Soldier Bourbon guys are paying for all their people to go, and Black Rifle Coffee's paying their whole way. So, anyways, you see it, right? You see my QR code here. If you want to make a small donation, and it can be $5, guys. It can be $10. I don't care if you put $1,000 down. I just had a friend pitched in 4 figures of money, a low 4 figures, but he still pitched in 4 figures. When you look at, guys, it's $2,900, 28 something to rent 1 parachute with reserve. And I'm renting them for a few people. And the Airbnb for everybody that's going, I needed 4 bedrooms, and that went from like $340 a night to, for Normandy, France, it's like $1,300 a night. Plane tickets, international round trip plane tickets to Charles de Gaulle. Right, and anyways, there's it's expensive, guys, and it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and you guys know I did not join the military to make money. I joined the military to make the world a better place. I joined the military to shoot people in the face, but eventually I learned the noble cause of making the world a better place by shooting people in the face. So anyways, I've lived a very, very blessed life. I have, and I consider it an honor to go over there to France to represent the United States and everybody. And I think it's awesome that David Duenas is going to be there. And David, thank you, by the way, for pitching in some money for Emery and the TR team to go over with. And so, anyways, guys, all you got to do is take your phone, point your camera at the QR code, and then you get there. You want to make a small. You want to throw $5 down, $20 down, whatever. We would appreciate it. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna leave it up for the rest of the live stream. I'll mention it every so often, but no big deal. I understand money's tight, economy sucks, but vote or don't bitch. That is some good coffee right there. Man, that was some good coffee. I'll have to go back for some more. We start with 8 shots of espresso, right? You guys know you got to go to 5 Stone Frontline Coffee. And I like the dark espresso roast. You understand, guys, if you go with a light roast or a light medium roast, you actually get more caffeine. Not about the caffeine, though. Sometimes you just, I want it bold, and I want it now. So anyways, 8 shots of espresso, a little bit of frothed Italian sweet cream to thin it out a little bit. Maybe a little Frangelico in there. Not saying. Not giving away the secret recipe, but it is what it is. Mountain Readiness Expo, guys, that was an awesome event. Some of the patrons went and did how to humanely and cleanly slaughter chickens and prepare chickens. My wife went and took a class on how to do herbal infused honey for medicinal purposes, and they had all kinds of great. They had classes there for kids, and just it was a great. So I did a women's only AR-15 seminar. Right, because you understand, a lot of husbands should not be allowed to teach their wives how to shoot. No live ammo. It was nothing but dummy rounds. And that was the most attended and most popular class there. Was kind of cool. And then Emery did knife fighting, a reverse grip knife fighting on the last day. Of course, one of our patrons, Maria, actually wasn't Maria. It was Karen. You're in there. I see you in the chat room. Jerry, get out of the way. Jerry, move. Everybody in the back there. Karen Harrison, she broke Maria's arm with her aluminum reverse grip knife fighting knife. Didn't break her arm on purpose, but anyways, funny. It's just a hairline fracture. It's not Karen's fault. Maria's got weak bones. That's all. Anyways, I'm joking about all this. We had a great time. Mountain Readiness Expo, it rained the whole time, but off and on. So you were moist, you were soggy, your feet stayed wet, but it was just a great time. And then at night, we all the instructors were camping there. A lot of some of the patrons were camping there also. Toby and Karen had their off-road camper, which is badass, by the way. And we all got together in the evening. Sometimes we go out for dinner. Sometimes we ate there at the campsite. And it was great getting the TR family together. It really was. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a great time. So we are going to add Mountain Readiness Expo to the calendar for 2025. And I hope that y'all will consider coming out. We will again do 5 more days of tactical rifleman classes after that. Hopefully Emery will be back by then. And it'll be awesome. All right. All right. We have a question just came in. Richard LB threw down $7.62. I saw what you did there. Master Sergeant Carl was good hanging. Hope steaks were good. Richard, me and Emery, we grilled those steaks this weekend, and they were glorious. I thought they were 2. But the bigger one was actually 2 New York strips that were in one package. So that T-bone you gave me and the other 2 New York strips, it was just me and Emery and Elvis Dog and Milo Dog. We had a great time. We built us a monster campfire in the fire pit. Flames are about, 8-9 feet tall. And we grilled steaks and we sat around and just decompressed. We've been going hard for a while. Emery's getting all spun up to go hunting, and anyways, I want you guys to keep Emery in your prayers. But yeah, I'm off again. I leave in the morning. Me and my son have got to film a commercial for this Friday's video. We were supposed to film it before I left. I didn't get time to do it. We were supposed to film it today. It's raining outside again today. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to have to delay my departure until the sun is up. We're going to film it. I probably won't get on the road till 10, 11 o'clock, but it's a 12-hour drive. But anyways, I'm off to Texas. Got private training down there for a few days. And then I'm going to catch the second half of the NRA convention down in Dallas. Whether you're a fan of the NRA or not, I'm a life member of the NRA. I support Gun Owners of America. I support NAGR, National Association for Gun Rights. These are all great organizations. The problem with the NRA was it became too political. So before you bitch about the NRA, understand you don't need to be cutting the feet out from underneath good people because the other people are already doing that. So instead of bitching, disband the NRA, how about we fix it, right? So they got rid of the shitbag president, but see, now they still have a lot of his cronies underneath. So hopefully in the next couple of years we'll get rid of all of them also, and the NRA will become another great organization and not just a lobbying organization. NRA used to do lots of great stuff, people. They really, really did. Indeed, they did. All right, I had another one come in, again from Richard, $5.56. Any of the mountain water left? No. I'm sorry, dude. I mentioned putting it out at the campsite. The mountain water he's referring to, I could run my lawnmower off of. I could probably run my 6.4 Hemi off of it. But Moody, too. I think there's Moody. Moody's there. Moody brought by an entire cooler of his wife's moonshine. So your moonshine was good but strong. Moody's wife's moonshine it's orgasmic. It really is. She's had 3 quarts of apple pie moonshine. Those did not last long at all. The grape was a little too sweet. This is for you, Moody. I'm not bitching. This is constructive criticism from Mama. All right. The grape moonshine was a little too sweet. The peach moonshine was a little too strong, but if you cut it with a little bit of peach body armor, it was good. But the apple pie moonshine was just incredible. There was a lot of people that got hooked up at Mountain Readiness because they drank too much apple pie moonshine. Well, I don't remember her name. We kept calling her Pat, but she was the flower lady there. She did like nature. She would take groups for walks through the woods and point out the different plants, which ones were medicinal, which ones were edible. Guys, I'm not joking. Mountain Readiness was a great event. They had so many great homesteading and survival and preparedness subject matter experts there. And then they had some schmuck there named Carl Erickson and Emery Morgenstern. But we had a good time. We did. Yeah, we did. We had a great time. So anyways, good stuff had by all. Yeah, indeed. I mentioned the NRA convention. If you guys are going to go, if you're in the area, please stop by. I'm easy to spot. I will be wearing a Tactical Rifleman t-shirt. I'm going to bring a bunch of patches and stickers and stuff to hand out to people. Why am I going? Like you guys know, I go to SHOT Show in Vegas in January to see what's new and to see what stuff I want to do future videos on. But it's really a boondoggle. The Vegas trip is a chance for me to take my wife to Vegas. She likes to play the one-armed bandits. We like to go to the shows. It's great food. I go for the food, but I go to hang out and meet friends from the community that I only get to see once a year in in Las Vegas at SHOT Show. But it's very much just the vendors, just the vendors, just the vendors. There's no buyers. There's very few actual Americans there. You. So, anyways, I like going to the NRA convention because it's the same vendors are there, but instead of them only looking for buyers, they're there to sell to the actual American citizens. So I go there to say hi and visit with the vendors, but I also go there to meet you guys. I meet so many tactical rifleman fans at the NRA convention. I think I always say I took pictures with almost 100 of you guys last year while I was there at the NRA convention. I ran out of patches. I had a few stickers left. But anyways, if you guys are in the area, I'd love to visit with you. And it's always a good time. It is indeed always a great time. And here's the deal. A lot of you guys have been asking me about the new TR1 rifle. The new TR1 is not being made by Tactical Edge. Tactical Edge has screwed me over, they owe me a lot of money. I'm probably never going to see a dime. I don't care about that. What I care is they screwed a bunch of you guys over. So if I said I was to do the gun again, right, a TR1A1, what would you change to make it better? And there's a lot of us out there that like to run suppressors. So I've been working with a company called Adams Arms, and they're famous for being 100% piston-driven guns. That's all they do, piston-driven guns. And if you guys have attended classes the last year and a half, my work gun, the one I'm running all the classes, is a piston AR, 13.7 inch with a pinned surefire brake on it, the War Comp. It's a little 3-prong flash hider, and it is it's got a dry fire trigger in it. It's got everything else stays the same. Everything else is almost just like the TR1 by Tactical Edge, but it's piston, and it is awesome. It is, anyways, we've worked the bugs out. It's going to be better in a lot of ways. It's going to be ambi. And anyways, they're going to have it, the final gun. I haven't even seen it yet. The one I have is one of the prototypes that I keep making changes to. But they're supposed to have the final one at the booth at the NRA show for me to go up and bless off on it. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully I say, hell yeah, B-Sarge, true that, yo. And you guys will be able to start ordering the guns. Here's the deal. They're not taking pre-orders. Tactical Edge did that, and some guys wound up having to wait 2 years to get them. They're not going to do that. They're not. But if you want the guns, you let them know, and they will build them as needed. And I'm not making much off of it. That's not the point of it. What's the point of it is for me to get a gun that I would want. It's got this logo engraved on the side of the gun, and it's gonna be badass. So, anyways, I'm excited. I'm excited that we're gonna finally get a chance to finally get a chance to get this gun off the ground. I'm hoping I can get my suppressor out of ATF prison, because I hear now if you file electronically, they're getting them back in 1 day, which, okay. But my paperwork has been sitting there literally for months on somebody's desk. It should literally be able to be done just as quick. But anyways, it is what it is. It is what it is. I still don't have my can back. That's some good freaking coffee. My suppressor is sitting at ATS, and the reason why I mentioned ATS, guys, I actually grabbed this sticker from them today. ATS Tactical Gear. You guys know my body armor, my gun belts, all that stuff is from ATS Tactical Gear. And then, don't get me wrong, there's lots of great companies that make good body armor, good gun belts, and things like that. There's a lot of companies that make cheap crap made in South Korea and China and stuff, but there are a lot of companies that make good stuff. Cry Precision, a couple other companies, right? So why is it I rep ATS Tactical Gear? And the short answer is because they supported my old Special Forces unit. And what I mean by that is because we could buy from anybody. I wore Cry Precision uniform, $300 for a pair of pants. Thank you, taxpayers, by the way. But if we needed something custom made, we could go in, walk right into ATS Tactical Gear and say, you know, hey, we need this modified a little bit. And they would stop what they were doing. They'd have one of the seamstresses there stop what she's doing on a sewing machine, and she would make a prototype. And that's it. That's exactly it. We need 80 of them. Roger that. When you need them, we deploy in 2 weeks. We'll have it ready for you Monday. And they would do that for my unit. They would do it for Task Force 160th, which is now 160th SOAR, Special Operations Aviation Regiment. You guys know them as the Black Helicopters. Anyways, ATS is awesome like that. I stopped in there today with Emery because Emery runs the same kit I do, and it's all multicam. Emery needs stuff in green. His uniform has to be green. So we walk in, they didn't bat an eyelash. They were like, roger that. They're like, we've got green. There are SWAT teams that run green. Build, go, right there's the wall. You grab whatever you need. They laid it all out on the table, and Emery went to go pay for it. I went to go pay for it, and they're like, thank you for your service. Thank you for what you're doing. And that's awesome. That's awesome. And they did not ask me to come pitch them today. They didn't. I picked up the sticker to sit here and put on my desk, and to remind me to mention it to you guys. Emery picked up a sticker also. I'm going to give Emery, I want Emery to put this on the back of a Merkava tank and get me a picture of it. I gave him a stack of TR stickers. Anyways, enough about that stuff. Guys, we got Steve Holland here. You guys notice behind me, right there, that is, you see that AR? This doesn't look like an AR, does it? Why? That is a lever action AR. Lever action AR. So when, let's say you live in California or places like that where you're not allowed to have a scary assault rifle, ooh, you understand, it's a lever gun. It's a lever gun. All right. That one's actually, I think, 300 blackout, I think Steve said. But anyway, Steve will tell you about it a little bit. Here's the cool part is next Tuesday, I will have just gotten back on Monday. That's how chaotic my schedule. I can't wait for this summer. I need to decompress, guys. Yeah, July and August, I've only got like 1 or 2 two-day classes. The rest of the time is all get caught up on Mama's honeydew list and breathe a little bit. Anyways, we will next Tuesday. We're going to be down at the Redneck Riviera in John Rich's bar in Nashville on Broadway. It's called the Redneck Riviera. I'm hoping John Rich will be there. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't. But Steve is going to have, and I apologize, I don't remember the guy's name. He is going to have the CEO of the company that makes that. I think it's Fight Light. But the CEO will actually have just flown in from the NRA show and into Nashville, and Steve's going to have him live on the show so they don't have to do all the video stuff. If you guys are wondering why I still have this QR code up on the screen, if you're just now checking in with us, it's because I'm asking for donations from you guys. I am taking Emery, my son, a few other people. I'm taking 7 people over to Normandy, France. And we're meeting up with other people over there. Kyle Lamb, you guys know Kyle Lamb from Viking Tactical. He's an old Delta operator, great instructor, great American. Kyle Lamb is going to be jumping with us. I'm pretty sure He's going to be on. He actually has our parachutes right now. I got to pick him up on the way home. He picked them up for me in Florida. They're at his house in Tennessee now. I'm going to pick them up on the way home from Texas. But he's going to be jumping with us. Ashley and her dad, David Duenas, they're going to be parachuting with us. Maria Lacourt with her broken arm and Fred Lacourt, they are going over. They're going to meet us in France. They're not parachuting, but they are going over as part of the Tactical Rifleman film crew. We're going to teach my son's girlfriend how to run the sound gear, and then Fred and Maria can run cameras, and because we're going to try to film a bunch of this. You understand? It's not just the jump. We'll GoPro and 360 camera that and everything, but a lot of it is the on the ground, the visiting with the people and everything. And beforehand, we're going to go visit the Louvre and all the all the museums and all that stuff. Emery wants to go see Notre Dame and whatever the other big cathedral there is. I apologize, guys. 16th Chapel. I apologize, guys. My history is focused on other parts of history. Philip Wilson's asking, when is Carl going to be at Rich's Bar? That is next Tuesday night. Tuesday, that is, let's see, the 21st of May, 7 p.m. We are going to be on the second floor of John Rich. You guys know John Rich, the country music star. He has a 3-story bar. The top is more of a rooftop bar. We're going to be on the second floor, private. But you guys are all invited. You just say you're a TR fan, and they'll let you in. Come on up, say hi to everybody, hang out. You can have a few drinks with us, and we're going to have us a great, great time indeed. That is the 21st, not this Tuesday. Next Tuesday. We'll meet you guys there. What is the best budget thermal? No such thing, really. I'm not big on pitching brands, guys, because you understand you get what you paid for. All right. I have a thermal I got from AGM Global Vision, the little handheld thing. It's dirt cheap. It's made in China. It's got a very, very small objective lens on it. But understand the size of that. That's how much heat is actually hitting it. It's a decent thermal for the price. If a cop was chasing somebody in a car and the guy all of a sudden parked his car, jumped out, ran into the woods, and then the cop ran into the woods and there's no sound, nothing moving, that means the guy is hiding in a bush. The cop could then pull out his cheap thermal, look around, and he would see the heat of the guy laying behind a bush. All right. Any cheap thermal will do that. There are thermals that you can get to clip onto your phone now, little thermals. But understand the larger your objective lens, that's more surface area for heat to hit. So you want, but again, you can't, you go to big cooled units versus uncooled units. If you think back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, a lot of the thermals that my old timers that were in the military, they had big batteries, but they also had compressed gas bottles, and they would refrigerate the unit, and that gave them that extended range. So you could be 20 kilometers away and see that North Korean guard tower across the DMZ in Korea, for example. Those thermals, the cooler the thermal, the better. We went to handheld ones that were not cooled basically about the same time the global war on terror started kicking off. There were uncooled ones that were down to being handheld sizes, and that's very common. That's what you see a lot of people running now. Everybody has them. They're very commonplace. You can get them all over Amazon, Night Vision guys, Euro Optic, Optics Planet. You can go to all these places and get cheap thermals. And you can even get them at like Bass Pro Shop and stuff. But understand that's not the latest and greatest thermal technology. Technology is always increasing. And some of the thermals that U.S. SOCOM are using right now are, like for the sniper rifles, they've actually gone back to cooled units because that gives them a extended range that when you've got a gun like a 300 Norma that can easily make 1,800 meter shots, you need a thermal that can see that far in the dark. So yeah, there's lots of great stuff. I really don't have a favorite brand to pitch you to. I really don't. All right. Another question. Luke B, TR Live, do you have any suggestions on integrating low power video drones into a prepared citizen skill set? First person view drones. Yeah. If you, and this goes for everybody, if you do not currently have access to a cheap drone, you're wrong, because you understand drone technology is increasing very, very fast. But a lot of the drones that are commercially available, even like the ones you get at Best Buy, the Best Buy drones are a lot better than the Walmart drones. Understand that, okay? But even the small little Mavericks that you get from Best Buy they are cutting edge technology from a year ago. And then every year, technology is just continually increasing so fast. So, but I want to stress that everybody needs to get on. If your son, daughter, wife, my wife asked for a drone. So we got my wife a drone. I'm like, as a matter of fact, yes. She doesn't fly it. My son flies it. I fly it. But it is a great, great, great tool for you to have in your bag of tricks. Understand the way the civilian drones are set up, GPS, they're constantly broadcasting where they are at. So there are actual apps where they can see exactly where your drone is. So don't be flying it anywhere you're not allowed to fly. Understand you're going to get away with it 99% of the time, especially if you live in rural America. Okay, but if you're doing nefarious stuff with it, understand they can come back after the fact and go back and re-look through and say, who was flying a drone here? That drone just happens to be, right? But there's, you don't want to get in trouble. There are actual apps for your drones. There's one that's called Before You Fly. Let me see if I can find it for you. No, wrong way. DJI Fly. There's a Before You Fly right there, guys. It's that one right there. Before You Fly. And what it does is you basically, because your phone's got a GPS in it, it pulls up your location and it goes, no, you're not allowed to fly here. Or it'll go, you are allowed to fly up to a certain altitude here. And the reason for that is you can be out in the middle of nowhere and not even realize it, that there's a private airstrip and you're like a half mile off the end of that airstrip. You understand that is considered restricted airspace. So it was good stuff. But yeah, if you don't currently have a drone is a great way to check your property line. It's a great way to go check your crops. Dogs are barking out there, send a drone out. Piece of cake. There's so much stuff you can do. I'm looking at the security cameras. I just had one. I thought it was like somebody walking in front of it. It was a wasp. A big wasp flew up to the, because the IR lights on the cameras reflected off of it. So it looked like a dude was walking in front of the camera. Kind of cool. All right. We've had other questions come in here. Trying to get caught up, guys. Steve is almost ready. FYN, is FRAS still a good idea from Safe Life Defense, or are there companies now making lighter versions? FRAS, for those of you, FRAS stands for Flexible Rifle Armor System. And I don't think I have one here on my desk. What it is it's little hexagon-shaped ceramic plates with your Dyneema soft armor behind it, and we shot the snot out of it. And it is so much more coverage than just running a plate. It wraps around the sides. It comes up on the collars. It's so much better stuff. And it's a little heavy, but understand it's because you're running more surface area. As far as is there better stuff out there now that's lighter, I have not heard of any. The downside of the Frass, I don't know of any. I don't. It is heavy, but if you're, my answer to that is one, you always get used to wearing it the more you wear it, and two, oh, it's too heavy. Go to the gym. Go to the gym. You know, I got guys that show up to class and they are 60 to 110 pounds overweight, and then they want to say that armor's too heavy. You understand, if you just lost 10 pounds, just 10 pounds, guys. You cut 10 pounds. One, you need to, right? But you cut 10 pounds, that's the weight of that body armor, right? So if you cut 30 pounds and you put 10 pounds back on, you're still moving 20 pounds lighter than you are right now. My body armor was 35 pounds with all the flashbangs and explosive cutting tape and firing systems and plates and side plates and ammo and batteries and extra batteries and nods and medical gear. I carried around 35 pounds of lightweight kit. It was still 35 pounds. You guys know what 35 pounds is, right? You take two 17-pound kettlebells and drag them around with you all day long. You get wore out. But you eventually get used to it. You do. You get used to it. You get used to it. I carried a SR-25. That's basically an AR-10 for you guys, with the full-length sniper barrel and 12 20-round magazines. And that's what I ran. If you don't believe me, this is my A team in. That's me right there, guys. All right, that is me with my SR-25 in Najaf, 308. Got my body armor on, and I wore it every freaking day. Every day. I gotta put that picture back up so it don't fall. That one right there, I know you guys can't see it. Same thing. This is the city of Fallujah 2004. And that's me right there with my SR-25, and I'm wearing body armor under my man dress. We always wore armor, guys. Unless we were doing recce up on the mountains, we always wore armor. If we're going to be in the city doing urban fighting, we always wore armor. So anyways, no big deal, guys. No big deal. I'm going to go back to my list of notes here. All right. Jones, I mentioned the Normandy, France thing. If you guys want to help out the Tactical Rifleman team, you want to make a small donation to my QR code right here, just scan it with your phone, and every little bit helps. And here's the deal: if whatever money I don't use, I'm then at the end of the trip, whatever money I don't use, I'm giving it all back to Round Canopy Parachuting Team to help other vets and guys with psychological issues go parachute. Because if you know a vet or somebody depressed, somebody that is suicidal, whatever, and you don't have to be a vet, anybody, you know, somebody that's in a bad way mentally, Round Canopy Parachute Team's motto is, it's so much more than just a jump, and it really is. And they figured it out. It's $1,000 for somebody to basically airline flight there, hotel, and then to attend airborne school, rent parachutes, repacking fees, all that. It basically costs $1,000 for somebody to come do that. So Vicky, one of the jump masters there, she retired as a colonel in the Army. Vicky's awesome. She's trying to raise enough money for 10 people per year to be able to go to Round Canopy Parachuting Team. So I've already told her, put me down for $1,000. That's me helping Vicky because she's trying to make the world a better place. And you guys know that's my goal also. But anyways, whatever we have left over at the end of this trip, and it might not be any. I might get to the end of this trip and still be $32,000 in the hole. I don't know. But if you guys help out, maybe I'll come home only owing 10 grand on the credit card. But if I have anything left over, it's going to, it's not going to Jeep parts. It's not. Full disclosure, unless you want it to go to Jeep parts, and then right in there for Carl's Jeep parts, okay? But if you send money for the trip, you're going to help me bring Emery and the other guys over for this trip. You are, but whatever's left over is going back to it's going to Vicky. All right, got some more coming in. People want you to put the QR code on the website because I only have phone and can't scan. Shall I tell them just to put it under your email? Sure. Guys, you can do that, or you can come back tomorrow and watch it. I can't put it on, I guess I could put it on the website, couldn't I? I don't have access to the website. I don't mess with the TR website at all. All right. I had another question come in. The Gustache 2531, $20. Man, your mama must have had a bunch of babies. Got a 4-digit number. Sir, odd question. I wear soft body armor when I work security at my church. Okay. If hit with a handgun round, is it going to knock me on my ass from the back deformation and keep me out of the fight? One cop said it felt like Sims. All right. One depends on the caliber. Right. Here's how energy works, guys. I understand physics. A lot of people didn't take physics in high school or college. And those of you that did take physics, a lot of times they didn't cover the kind of physics that we need to deal with. But a rifle round, the rifle recoiling into your shoulder, you know how that hurts? All right, that energy is spread out over the area of the butt pad, right? But that same energy that's punching you there is what's punching you in the chest, right? But it's punching you in the chest that big, whatever the diameter is of that projectile. So if they're shooting you with a pistol round, that energy that's whacking you in the hand, that recoil impulse, is the exact same energy that's hitting you with that bullet. The problem though is that bullet is a lot sharper and it's focused. That said, if you're wearing a rifle plate, it's going to feel like somebody punching you in the chest. A soft armor, but again, it depends on what type of soft armor. Level 2 armor is different than 3 alpha armor as far as layers, but you getting shot with double aught buckshot is gonna hurt, but it's not gonna knock you backwards, knock you on your ass. No, not at all, not at all. I have a buddy that not A15 guy, but he was on the deployment same time where he was going up a set of stairs, and the guy came around the corner and did the pray and spray with the AK. They got to the top of the stairs. Ended up killing the bad guy, but he went to do a tac mag reload, and when he pulled his mag off the front of his plate carrier, the spring, the follower, and all the ammo went everywhere as soon as it came out of the mag. He had been shot 3 times in his plate. Now that was a level 4 multi-hit plate, but those were AK rounds hitting him. He did not even feel them, right? You mentioned soft armor, but you also mentioned pistol. If it's a 5.7 pistol, it's going to feel the same, but understand it might actually penetrate your armor. You get hit always, when you get a chance, first lull in the gunfight, actually break the seal on your armor and check and make sure you don't have any penetrations. because there have been guys that have actually bled out internally because well, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. They got to fight on. And we actually named our Deeks language lab after an 18 Delta. A bunch of guys had gotten wounded, and he treated everybody else, refusing them to treat him while he treated everybody else. And he ended up going into uncompensated shock and dying. I show up the group as an 18 Delta, and my note from that was, okay, I need to learn from his mistakes 2 ways. One, you're not helping anybody if you're dead. And 2, everybody on your team needs to be cross-trained how to use the radios. Everybody on your team needs to be cross-trained how to use all the crew-served weapons. Everybody on your team needs to be cross-trained how to use the explosives. But everybody on your team needs to be cross-trained how to use the medical equipment and how to do a primary survey of a patient. So, great question. We've had a few more come in. Guys, I got Steve here. I heard that was the Gus stash. You just missed that one, Steve. All right. James Swain threw down 50 bones. Hey, Carl, then for the great work. Thanks. Check your mail soon. James, you are awesome, brother. James is my uncle down in Texas. James, since you're watching, I am only there. I'm coming in late Friday night, but I'm there Saturday night and Sunday night. We need to do dinner. If you're busy Saturday and Sunday night, that's this week, by the way. Let's do lunch. Pick a lunch on Saturday and Sunday, and I would love to do. I think it's my turn to buy. Ooh. Yeah, I'll buy you lunch, James. I'll buy you lunch. I love to hang out with my Uncle James. I love hanging out with all my patrons, all you nutbags out there. My last time at the NRA show, that was in Indianapolis, me and my wife Dana, we went to lunch with Sherry Champagne. I bet you she's in the chat room. She usually doesn't miss it. But you guys know her as Erica Hotstetler. Erica's good people, and we went out to dinner. I got to meet her 2 brothers, and they're like, you know about Erica? I'm like, yeah, Erica's a nutbag. Erica's a full-blown nutbag, but that's okay. I don't judge people, all right? You're a nutbag, I don't care, right? Race, color, creed, religion, so long as you're not a devil-worshipping Muslim, but even then, you want to worship Satan, that's fine. Just understand, you're not going to heaven with me. Not at all. But I'm happy to send you on your way. And all your virgins are going to be dudes. All right. I'm back. Steve, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Brother.
Steve.
Always got it going on. Always on the move. Always popping and snapping. Like I told you guys a couple of shows ago, a very good friend of mine, SF Legend, who now works in D.C., still supporting the war fighters. I have the utmost respect for him. We were talking about some different projects. He was talking about the projects that, things that had accomplished being in 5th Group as a combat developer. And he said, Steve, I said, yep, I ain't going to call his name out. He said, do you understand what you are? I go, no. I mean, like, what do you mean? He goes, all the things you've done, and with your background, starting off in, little kid running around barefoot in Brunswick, Georgia, he said, you're a hybrid. You're a hybrid and a visionary. I said, now that you categorize it like that, I said, you're absolutely right. Because I've always got something going on, TR Nation. Sometimes I don't share it with you guys. Sometimes I don't share it with Carl. Because if I told you guys, then I had to kill you. I told Carl, when I give him a hug, that's just me measuring the size of the body to dig the hole.
What is that? That's why I'm not a hugger. I don't hug people.
No, I just, always clicking and ticking. God, we serve the kingdom of heaven, and heaven is always putting things in my head that, not even in my skill category, that I said, wow, nobody's done that yet. Let me do that. So if any of you guys ever want to do something like super cool, especially in the line of tactical accessories, weapon systems, firearms, give me a shout. We'll sit down and talk about it. I mean, I've worked with some amazing designs, ideas. And again, I'm not an engineer, I'm a visionary. But I know how to take something that an engineer has come up with and make it fit the end user and the warfighter.
Come on.
And I want to give a shout out to Miss Susan for sending me my Aussie. I love it.
I love it. It's awesome. We got a question here from Russell Ridge. Carl, heard from Travis Hall lately. He getting along all right. I'm going to check the text because I literally thought I just got something right here, Travis Hall. He sent me a text today, as a matter of fact, asking the name of the overland competition that I used to compete in. And it was just, I just said they canceled it a couple years back. Now we go to Moab every year. And I was expecting that to be the start of a conversation. I do know that Travis is very busy right now. He's a first sergeant for a National Guard group, SF group, and he's still got Second Chance K9. And so those of you that you guys know, we have Travis on every so often, and I need to reach out to Travis, and I'm going to start that conversation right now. Gotta have you back on the show soon. SOON. All right, we'll see. Hopefully he gets back to me. But I really, like I said, I was expecting it to be the start of a long conversation, and then that was kind of the end of it. You got a bunch more. Steve, we're falling behind here. That's right. Steve Rogers, hey Carl, what was your favorite military vehicle to ride on? A tank, a Bradley, a Stryker, a Humvee, or feet? Favorite military vehicle to ride on? I went to the M110 Commanders course back when it was at Fort Knox, and then. And I gained a lot of respect for DATs, dumbass tankers. They're now CDATs, computerized dumbass tankers. But the M1 Abrams tank is a badass tank. I went from there to Kuwait and got classes on the Soviet T-72. Not a great tank. You got to be small to get in that thing. Bradleys, I've done a lot of shooting with the Bradleys, that 25 millimeter chain. I've never driven a Bradley. Strikers are very comfortable to ride in. They're 8 wheels. They've got good armor. That's what we rolled around in Mosul when we were doing a Team SIF mission with D Squadron. That was 2010. Always loved Humvees. Humvees are great vehicles.
Oh, gosh.
Always loved a Humvee.
Oh, my God.
So uncomfortable, but they are so capable. The problem with a Humvee is when you start putting all the armor packages onto them so that they would be able to survive anything, their maintenance gets so bad. That's why we went to the Strykers. The Strykers had the same protection, but they were made that much weight. Steve don't like the Humvees. Humvees are awesome, guys.
Carl,
I actually taught classes on Humvees. Steve just rode in them.
Carl knows is doing this.
Actually, it's not. It's not.
Because Carl has never ridden in the M1288 flyer vehicle. Totally changed his mind about the Humvee. But we got to fix that.
Anyways.
I can fix that.
He can't fix that. He used to be able to fix it. He can't get the flyer in. I've already asked you to get me the flyer. You haven't got us the flyer
When
yet.
did you ask me that?
2 years ago? 2.5 years ago? Anyways.
Well, my hard drive don't go back that far.
My favorite vehicle to ride in is the old Army Jeep. When I was in Korea, we still had the Jeeps. We got the Humvees. My last 6-9 months we were there, we got the Humvees, the turtle shell ones. with the Kevlar doors that don't stop anything but shrapnel. But the Jeeps were awesome. We had the single spindle between the seats. We'd lay the windshield down, have a Katusha up behind the M60, and that's what my scout platoon rolled around in. And the Jeeps are awesome. I wish I could get my hands on one of those old Jeeps. I actually tried to get one. There was an old guy here in town who had a Gamma Go and like 6 or 7 different Jeeps and different old military vehicles. And his plan was going to be that he's going to restore them someday. But he's got this 150-year-old house he's restoring, and he's been restoring the house for 20 years. They still don't live in it. He's never going to get around to restoring these vehicles. So my plan was go up to him someday and say, hey, can I buy cheaply with just one of your Jeeps? That way I could restore it. And I just saw him, and it turns out he gave all the vehicles to the 101st Museum, basically, so they could restore them and put them out on display, because he's like, I'm never going to get around. And it broke my heart because I wanted one of those vehicles for me. But then I thought about it. You guys understand how busy I am, right? So it would end up getting parked right out here on the property down by the range, and I would never get around to it. The grass would grow up around it, and I'd never get around. So I want a Jeep. I loved riding around in the Jeeps. I did. And there's something cool about a Jeep, guys. Something cool about a Jeep. All right, David Bobine came back 50 bones. Carl, check your mail in a few days. All my best. David, thank you. You guys are awesome. You really, really are. And sincerely, you guys see what they're doing, right? They're wanting to help out. And if you don't want to do Super Chat, I understand. That's awesome. I understand. YouTube takes 30%, 40% of it. But I've got my QR code right here. That goes straight to me. They don't take a cut at all. And that money is going to go to taking the Tactical Rifleman team to Normandy, France. I've already bought the round-trip plane tickets. I've already got the Airbnb. I had to get 2 rental vans for our team, renting the parachutes, and then flying. Now, you understand excess baggage. You don't pay for any of that until you get to the airport, because we got to fly with helmets. We got to fly with brown Cochrane jump boots. We got to fly with World War II uniforms, reserve parachutes, primary parachutes, my knee braces, all this stuff. And that's not counting, we're there 11 days. So all the... So anyways, my wife has ordered a couple 1940s era dresses, and she's going to do the beehive hairdo and everything, and she's going to ride with us in the Jeeps. We're going to be in a World War II Jeep over there, and we're going to get pictures all around the World War II airplanes and everything. And guys, you understand, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me and my son. And I wish my daughter could go with us, but she's got summer school going on already. But anyways, it's gonna be awesome, and you understand, it's already mid-May. I leave the end of May. I am 2 weeks away from going to France, and it's pretty badass. For my patrons that are watching, I am. I'm going to try to do something special for my patrons while we're over there, but we're going to try to film a lot. I mentioned Fred and Maria, you met Fred and Maria LaCour. Yeah, they are going. They're not parachuting, but they are going, and they're going to be part of the Tactical Rifleman film crew over there. And we're going to try to post things every day. And at the end, I will make a separate video just for my patrons on Patreon. And again, we're going to wire the airplanes with GoPros and 360 cameras and all that stuff. And hopefully nobody gets hurt. And it's going to be awesome. But I'm putting it all on the credit card, and I'm done wore the numbers off the front of that thing. But and I'm telling the wife, I'm like, Don't worry about it. God will take care of us. The Lord will provide.
Hallelujah.
And we're going to get through it one way or the
Hallelujah.
other. And if it takes me 10 years to pay it off, it takes me 10 years to pay it off. But if you guys want to help me pay it off, right there, this QR code right here, it goes straight to my PayPal. And I mentioned it earlier. This is for our jump into Normandy, France. We're not going to have any money left over. I'm still going to be in debt. But any help you guys can give me, greatly appreciated. But let's say I get a benefactor that decides to throw big cash down. Any money that is left over is going to go to Round Canopy Parachuting Team. This is the jacket they gave me for being airborne commander in March. But these guys are out of Palatka, Florida, and it is $1,000 for basically for a jumper to go there. And we want to make it so that if, let's say, you know somebody that's they're suicidal or they're really depressed, something like that. I don't care how big your problems are or how it feels like your world is doing this. You know, maybe your husband's divorcing you, or maybe you feel alone, whatever, or your world is crumbling down around you. Get me their name. I will bring them with me to Palatka, Florida next March, and we get them into airborne school. I'm here to tell you, no matter how big you think your problems are, how depressed you are, and when you're in the door of that airplane, that World War II airplane, and you're looking out, and we're 30 seconds out, we're turning over Walmart, and everybody's looking up. It's actually the 1 minute mark is over Walmart, depending which way the wind's going, the approach angle and everything. But I get you in the door, and all your problems are really, really trivial, and you realize the only thing that's important right now is gravity. And all your problems go away for a while. And when you land, and I've had guys land and break their legs, but they still have a smile on their face. And you can't get that smile off the face. It is magical. And very, very few guys get hurt. So anyways, that's where all the extra money is going to go to, if there is any. I honestly do not foresee there being any extra money, but I can only hope. It all depends what you guys come through with. So thank you, David Bobine, for that. Richard Elba's back with $3.08. Any chance of Super Dave Harrington collaboration? Those of you who don't know who Super Dave is, I believe he still reps for Surefire. He was a competitive shooter for Beretta back in the day. I met Dave when Dave was my Sephardic instructor when I went through our hostage rescue school at Fort Bragg down at Range 37. He was there as the small arms instructor. They had 2 ranges, half the class on each range, and Harrington was my instructor. And the boy was, I think he missed, I want to say he missed one time in 2 weeks, one bullet in 2 weeks, just to prove that he was mortal. The guy was just insanely amazing. He later on went back to 10th Group, I believe, got into roids big time. And but he was an assaulter. His unit replaced my unit, I think, one time at Task Force Raptor in Baghdad. I saw him. I remember seeing him there once. I've seen him at SHOT Show a couple of times. We're not really friends or nothing. We're acquaintances. He remembers me. I remember him, I believe. I'll tell you what, if I see him somewhere, or if you know Dave Harrington and any of you guys have connected, I'd love to do a collaboration with him, because Dave was always a hero of mine when I was in Sephardic. Dave is good people. All right. Dave Harrington was a Sephardic instructor when I went through Sephardic.
And don't forget to remind everyone, as we discuss the things that you're discussing, that we have a giveaway tonight.
We do?
We do.
What are you giving away, Steve?
As an introduction to our presentation tonight of the long-awaited AR-15 lever-action rifle from Fight Light,
Okay.
We're giving away a T-shirt, hat, coaster combination from Fight Light Industries.
Really?
Down in Melbourne, Florida. Now, a lot of you guys know about Fight Light because Fight Light is a division of Ares Defense. And Ares Defense is the company that makes the lack of designation, the M249 saw upper receiver system belt fed that drops onto an M4.
Yeah, I love that.
So basically, instead of buying
a saw,
$15,000 saw from FN, if you have whatever it takes to authorize you to have an AR-15 that's full automatic, you just drop this on your lower, and then now you've got a belt-fed machine gun.
It won't shoot semi-auto?
Yeah, it will shoot semi-auto.
Will it
I
really?
was going to get to that, Carl. I was going to get to that.
That's a video, Steve.
Okay, that's a video.
No, I'm serious.
And
that's a video. I need one of these things for a video.
Okay.
Could you make that happen?
Who am I?
You guys, can you guys see it? You see how hard my nipples got as soon as he said he could, a belt fed, even semi-auto. You understand what kind of suppressive fire drills we could do, right? In Battle Rifle 1. Oh, dude, look at that. I'm serious, dude. I'm serious. You see the effect?
And like the saw,
Yeah.
and like the saw, it also takes AR-15 magazine, so you can run belt fed.
What?
Take the belt, flip the thingy around, and stick in a 30-round magazine, or 50 or 100-round magazine like you get from Surefire.
Yeah, the 60s.
Yeah.
But
that is so awesome.
Magpul
Now,
has a 60 drum that's more reliable than the coffin. But I'm just saying.
Okay. I didn't know that. Now we know.
Now
so
we know.
you guys remember, I had planned to introduce this system to you guys like a year and a half ago. It's not about a year. It's taken a while. Jeff Herring, who's the president of Ares Defense and Fight Light, but he told me almost over a year ago, he said, Steve, when we get this worked out to where the reliability is utmost, you and the Tactical Rifleman Nation will be the first ones to see it, first ones to handle it. Actually, I wasn't the first one to handle it because Coach Murkison beat me to it. I texted him and said, hey, I'm going to Tennessee Country to pick up the new lever action AR-15. Turns out he was already at Tennessee Gun Country shooting on the range. So he texted me back. He said, I'm here and I'm your new rifle.
Finger effing your rifle.
Yeah, I was like, I'm supposed to be the first one to touch it. So Coach is standing there when I walked in. He goes, man, that's a really nice rifle. So we're going to go over the rifle with you guys tonight. But I also want to let you know that next Tuesday, which will be the 21st of May, we are going to have a separate show, a new show, at John Rich's Redneck Riviera Bar and Restaurant on Broadway Street, Nashville. Woo! And
all you guys are invited. If you're in town,
may I?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So we're going to have this show at John Rich's restaurant, Redneck Riviera, and all the TR viewers, subscribers, patrons, all of you guys are invited. Of course, when we're doing something at the Redneck Riviera, there's no entrance fee or nothing like that. We always have a great time. Hopefully, John Rich is going to give us, play a couple of songs for us. I mean, he's an awesome, awesome patriot.
Yeah, for sure.
He allows us to use his facility. He and his family are just amazing, amazing American patriot and God-loving Americans. So put it on your calendar, people. We will have Jeff Herring as our guest, along with John Rich. And Jeff is the owner of Ares Defense and Fight Light. And I'm going to make sure that Jeff brings Carl the belt-fed upper.
Semi-auto.
I didn't say Carl can keep it after the show's over with, but I'll make sure that there's one for you guys to also look at it. He's also going to bring several different iterations, models of the new Herring lever action rifle. And I believe you guys are going to have a great time. And I tell you, Redneck Riviera, it's a great place, great people there. They've always been so accommodating to us, and their food is really good.
They've already reached out to me, Pete.
Pete, yeah.
No joke, guys. They're excited to have the Tactical Rifleman team coming down. Pete, their sound guy, right? John Rich, country music star. you know he's going to have a sound guy. The sound's going to be good. So Pete actually reached out, hey, same setup as last time. Everything. I'm like, yep. So
Yeah, and Pete is also a musician, along with being the sound guy, the roadie. And after our show is over, Pete is going to be playing downstairs. He's going to be playing bass for one of the new up-and-coming country and western female singers. And you guys are welcome after the show, if you come at 10, to, hang out with us downstairs with Pete.
She's going to have those Rocky jeans on that are all just spray painted on and everything. Steve was talking about her earlier. Apparently she's an attractive woman.
I've never
guys, I'm just letting y'all know. Some of y'all might be into that stuff and everything.
I had no idea who she was. Pete said, I'm going to be playing with so-and-so. I was like, who's that? And actually, I haven't even looked it up yet. So, in the direction we're going with the talking about it, we're going to have a giveaway before the show is over with.
What time? You going to show them at least?
Yeah, you got to show it to them.
All right. Fight Light hat with sticker. All right. Now, I know YouTube has restrictions. You're not allowed to put hats on the show because one of them might go off. Now, I would lock this to the side, but you understand I'd become totally gangster, and I don't want to ruin your hat. Fight Light shirt. Dude, check that puppy out right there. This is the wrong size shirt, so you guys wouldn't want this.
Yeah, right.
All right. Feed your freedom. Fight Light on the front. That's sexy. All right. If the shirt's too big for you, you'll just have to grow into it. And it comes with a, what do you call these things?
Coaster. I mean, a
Coolie?
Coolie
For your tasty beverage. May I have a sip of your tasty beverage? And then you get a coveted 3D printed patch, Fight Light patch. Totally badass. Totally badass indeed. Okay.
And so, without
further ado, Steve wants me to get out of his way.
Carl is going to get up out of the chair, out of the big chair. Let Steve get into the big chair.
All right, guys, I know I have a bunch of other questions waiting, so I'm going to let Steve go for just a couple minutes. I'm going to remind my YouTube moderator, in case he just came down from getting more Hot Pockets out of his mom's kitchen, that Steve is not going to touch this unloaded, non-firing replica that is hanging on the wall. All right, he's not going to touch it. Steve's not going to touch that gun right there. This gun right here has been cleared, and it is non-firing. Does not have a firing pin in it. So for my Google moderators up there, this is the part where I invite you to sit down and grab yourself a big, tall glass of shut the hell up. All right, Steve, your floor.
So
that's some good coffee right there.
So before you move the hell out of the way, what you got against Hot Pockets, man?
Nothing.
You're always picking on the guys in Hot Pockets. They might like something else, like some ramen noodles.
Attention, everyone in the back row. Steve Holland has entered the room. Steve Holland has entered the room. All right, Steve, all yours. I'm going to go out here real quick, and I'm giving Steve the chair.
I have the chair.
Clip your mic. You don't forget.
Captain Kirk, I have the con. So, guys, I wish it was a better way to share this with you in regards of, not being able to touch it. But at the same time, I want to point out that it's here. So we're going to scoot. One of these days, we're going to have a full video crew, like super duper podcast kind of thing, right? And you are going to love the way we're going to set this thing up. So what we have here is a failure to communicate. But now that Carl's gone, let's communicate. Fight Light AR-15 lever action rifle in 300 blackout. How can you not get excited about that? How can you not? I want to fondle it for you. I want to pick it up and show you how it works. Now, you guys know that we've been doing a lot of shows on lever action, rifles, doing the Patreon course out in Texas. We had Henry X rifles, which is great lever action rifle. I like the old style lever action rifles. I enjoy working with them. I enjoy shooting them. I enjoy having them, at a ready, because you guys know how much I love my 4570. 4570. What I like most about this system is, number one, it's integrated in all the good traits and attributes that come along with the AR-15 family, which we have been dealing with for, over 55, 60 years now. And even when Jeff and I have been communicating for the last year, I said, Jeff, I already told our viewers that we're going to have this rifle. You let me down. You let me down. That ain't the Steve Holland way. And he said, brother, I got you. I said, okay, Panama, I hear you. And then he contacted me a couple weeks ago. He goes, I got you. So next thing I know, I get a call. Hey, there's a rifle here. I go, I'm on the way. But then Coach Murkison was there before I got there. I would have been the first one to touch it, Coach. But you got me. But you know what? It's all good, Coach, because I got nothing for love for you. Coach is an icon, folks. I'm going to talk about him in a little bit. Coach is a American icon. That's all I can say. And we talked about Coach on a couple of shows. Coach comes out and shoots with us, and he was working with Big Al's daughter when she was out here, teaching her how to shoot with the 22 rifle. Coach is the king of 22 long rifle. I'm telling you right now. Coach is the 300, 400-yard king of 22 long rifle. Back to the Herring lever action 2024 rifle. When I picked it up, first thing that dawns on me is, one, it's light. It's lightweight. Very much lightweight. Then I worked the action, and it caught me by surprise. It really did. Because I worked so much with lever actions, the Henry X's, the stroke of the lever, the feel of it was so different than what I'm accustomed to. And then it dawned on me that the bolt carrier is like on a traditional lever action rifle. It's not forcing back the hammer, the external hammer, like you get on lever action rifles. So that's a total different feel when you stroke that lever. It's like it didn't do anything. Nothing. With a standard lever action rifle, you get the whole click, 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 click. Then the hammer comes back, and you come forward, and all this movement and pieces and parts working internally. When I first pushed the lever forward, it just felt like it just went slid, just like that. I said, wait a minute, did I do anything? Did anything activate? And then when I went forward on the AR-15, I'm so accustomed to that feel and sound of the bolt going into the bolt lugs, bolt carrier going forward and then turning and locking. I didn't feel that. And you guys know I like lever action rifles because there's only 2 manual movements, down and up. Bolt action has 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one, it changes everything. When you get yours, because I know you guys are gonna get one, you're gonna see and feel what I'm talking about. The other thing that got me was the familiar feel of an AR-15, but I'm still working manual with the lever action, and not having that magazine tube forward. And it took me maybe an hour to really understand it and appreciate all the attributes of Jeff and his design engineers bringing this design to us. It hit me. I love lever actions. One thing I didn't really like so much about lever actions was that it was tube fed. And now you have one, there's no tube. There's no taking, the magazine tube rod out and the spring. There's no loading gate where you have to load one at a time. Everything as far as the manual arms with this lever action rifle, as far as reloading, it's the exact same thing as an AR-15. I love my 4570. I shoot a couple of rounds, take out the black UPS truck coming up my driveway. Then I gotta load some more rounds. This one, I run dry, and the lever does lock forward on an empty magazine, just like on the AR-15. It locks it back, which I liked also. But that, boom, drop the magazine, slip in another magazine, and you're back in action. I don't have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with 45-70. It's an amazing system, and you guys that like rifle stock, straight rifle stock type systems as compared to pistol grip type systems, you're gonna love this system. We've previewed some of the other Fight Light straight rifle stock semi-automatic system, which Jeff was really good to us, because I said, Jeff, if I have one, I said, my team on Tactical Rifle Nation, they have to have them. We got to have them. So we ended up getting Jamie and Big Al an SCR, and they loved it. I worked bolt action rifles when I started a sniper school, sold it here at Fort Campbell, 5th Group and 101st. I spent so much time with straight stock rifle. Not that I don't enjoy running an AR-15 and pistol grip stock and that type.
This is me interrupting Steve real quick. Hey, I got public service announcement. In order to win Steve's giveaway.
No, that's Jeff Fight Light giveaway.
And in order to win the coveted Steve Holland Jeff Fight Light giveaway, you've got to type the word LRAR in the chat room, and that automatically enters you. You're allowed to enter a maximum of 3 times LRAR. No, I'm sorry, LRAR.
You're right. Lever action.
LAAR. You can enter a maximum of 3 times. It'll be randomly drawn by our computer, and best of luck to the winner. All right, Steve, you got a couple more minutes. I'm going to go make myself some more coffee, and I come back. We got a bunch of other questions, Steve. We're talking about this gun next week. Not this week, next week.
Yeah. So, Carl, go get your Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
Bring me one. And a slice of bologna. So, guys, without further ado, this is the Fight Light lever action AR. Like I said, I can't say enough about it. The form fit is great. The weight is great. And then, it dawned on me again as I continued to, analyze the system. I said, where's this loss in weight coming from as compared to like its SCR and, AR-15 type rifle? Then it dawned on me, it doesn't have a gas block, so you're losing the weight of the gas block. It doesn't have a gas tube. You don't have that. There's nothing drilled in that barrel, interrupting that barrel. I'm really curious as far as like the velocity of ammunition from an AR type system that doesn't have a gas port versus an AR-15 with a gas port. The other thing is, like I said, this is a 300 blackout. So, often everyone, they ask us a question, what's the best gas block for locking the gas port when I'm shooting subsonic? Well, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do that, and you don't need that with this to go ultimate quiet. Of course, once you fire the first shot, you're going to have the sound of the action cycling, but that's all good. So, again, I can't say enough about that. We've got the Fight Light ensemble, thanks to Jeff Herring, and we're going to do this as a giveaway. I'm not going to talk anymore about this rifle tonight because we're going to see you guys in Nashville this coming Tuesday, where you can meet Jeff, see all of Jeff's other systems that they've done. I'll make sure that Jeff brings Carl a a saw opener for his M4 lower, and we'll get back to you some more. Now, I want to talk about, like I said, Coach. You want the big chair, brother?
Yeah, I do. When you get around to it.
So anyway,
I was gonna let you go for a couple more minutes.
Ignoring Carl.
Oh, he needs my help. So.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Ignoring Carl. Coach Murkison. Okay, I first ran into Coach maybe 2 years ago. I met him through our good friend, an American Patriot,
Poor Steve.
SF legend, Joe Shakina, the soon-to-be.
That's where Steve. That's Coach right there holding Steve's lever gun. But Steve's getting ready to talk about some of these other pictures.
Yeah, this one. So go back.
One right there.
So when I first met Coach through Joe Shakina, he said, "Hey, we got this coach. He's out at the Montgomery County Shooting Complex, and he's a really good shooter. He spends a lot of time coaching people, and loves to work with kids. And so I got a chance to meet Coach, and Coach would come over. I think I first met him in person. He came to one of our Leatherwood distillery shows, and I didn't know Coach's fullest background. So Coach's son watches the show, and he used to get us confused because he would send us a chat message, and he said it would be out to Murkison. I said, wait a minute. So I would always say, Coach, and this is a picture of Coach and some events. The top left is Coach during his time period back and forth in Vietnam.
Wow.
Like I said, Coach is a legend.
Yep.
Coach is a legend. So I knew Coach as a former warfighter, but I recently found out from his son that Coach is a coach. Coach is coaching. Coach is coaching Roy Jones Jr. in his championship fight in Vegas.
Nice.
I think that was against Ruiz. I said, wait a minute, that's Coach. That's Coach. There's Coach at press day at Caesar's Palace during the fight, and Coach don't play. Okay? Coach was out here teaching Big Al's daughter to shoot.
That is Coach right there.
I said, Coach is so soft-spoken.
Oh, he really is.
Yeah.
Coach is such good people.
Coach is rocking out in Vegas with Roy Jones Jr. And he would never say, I've been around Coach for 2 years now. I had no idea.
Yep.
I said, Coach, that's Coach. And we talk firearms, accessories, talk a lot about marksmanship, how things work good and how things work better.
22 long rifle for Big Al's daughter.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, that he was training Big Al's daughter. So I knew Coach was a good man. You can always tell when somebody's a good person when you first meet him, especially in a God-fearing man. And I think Joe Shakina told me, he said, yeah, Coach Murkison. I said, Joe, I don't go out to Montgomery County Shooting Complex. So I met Coach down in Leatherwood Distillery. I said, Coach, I'm finally glad to meet you. We texted back and forth in a group chat for probably about 6, 7, 8 months. And Coach said, hey, man, I'm coming here to, support your show and hang out. And we were talking about shooting. And I said, Coach, you should come out to Carl's house on Sundays and shoot with us. So he comes out to shoot with us, and Al had his daughter. And, Al's working with his daughter through. Coach said, go over there with the adults. I'll take care of her. And Coach spent the rest of his time that day teaching Al's daughter to shoot 22 long rifle. And it never got into the conversation that, a coach is a coach. Once you get into that mindset, it's like when I was running sniper school. Once you get into that mindset, it's hard sometimes when you're out of the range. You see somebody doing something that breaks the law of marksmanship, and you go like, I want to go over there and say something, but you don't. And Coach, he never ever mentioned that he was also coaching boxing. And if someone said, yeah, Coach coaches boxing also, and I probably would have said, oh, that's good, man. Always, working with the community, always working with young people. But it's one thing to say, hey, somebody is teaching boxing and somebody is teaching the world champion boxer.
Yeah,
Somebody's
exactly,
teaching
exactly.
someone that won the Olympics boxing and now is out in Vegas. You know, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
And to add the fact that, you know, he's very mild-mannered, and he's here in Clarksville. You know, he's not in
Super
Vegas
great
and
guy.
New York and
Yeah,
L.A.
super great guy.
And I wanted to share that with you guys. And we're going to get Coach on one of our shows live.
I think
So
we
Coach,
should do that.
Heads up, it's coming at you. So there's Coach. There's Coach in Vegas. Say, hey, we'll see you in the ring. You know, at the weigh-in. That's Coach and his family. I have some other pictures of Coach and his family. It's a beautiful family, amazing family. We only have like so much room, so much time. And see, there's Coach patching up Roy Jones Jr. That's Coach saying, "Are you ready? You ready? Get your mind right." And there's Coach. There's the first one. There's Coach who touched my LRAR before I did. He's like, "Why you texting me? You coming to pick this up? I already picked it up and I'm playing with it."
So is it LAAR or LRAR?
If anybody else would have said, "Hey Steve, we got your gun ready for you to go through the paperwork and everything else," or what? By the way, a couple hour, you know, people that work here in the store, they've been playing with your rifle. And I'm like, don't play with my rifle, man. But when they said, "Hey, Coach Mergerson has got your rifle," I was good with that. If anybody, even Carl would say, "Hey man, I'm here at the store. I'm finger effing your rifle." I said, "Carl, don't touch my rifle, man."
Yeah.
But Coach,
We'll let Coach do it.
Coach can
We'll
touch
let
my
Coach.
rifle.
Coach can touch
my
it.
rifle.
Coach can touch
No,
it.
I'm kidding. You know, Carl can, you know, touch my rifle because every time he's going and I got to show up myself, I'm over here. I say, "Nick, pass that to me. Let me play with it."
I come back here and dude, I got like that. My shelf with all my primers and the powder was down, and there's primers all. Was that you?
No, dude, I wouldn't touch your primers. I wouldn't touch your primers.
Thou shalt not touch another man's primers. I'm just saying.
And especially another man's
anyway, so
powder.
it must have been the way. And there is a lot of weight on that shelf, dude. All the 1680, the tubs of gunpowder.
Yeah.
See how there's a row? That's all. That's all for my subsonic 300 blackout.
Oh my gosh!
And then the Trail Boss right next to it. That's for that secret recipe for subsonic 308 I get from your buddy Dave Davis.
Hit me in the back, man. Hit me in the back.
You're gonna be okay, Steve. You're gonna be okay. Steve's not a big fan of Dave Davis. Me neither. But Dave is a Green Beret brother.
Let's not talk.
He's
Let's not talk negative about anybody
about
on the
the
show,
wounded.
man.
Yeah,
That
let's
has
not
nothing-
do it. Yeah,
no,
so-
not that, you know, I want to bring up any frying pan stories or nothing like that. But anyway, Coach, we got to get you on the show.
Coach is awesome. We want to have Coach on the show. He doesn't know you're talking bad about him right now, does he?
Go ahead and talk. Let me see if there's anything I missed. I know there's a lot of things I missed on Coach. Double for your trouble.
All right, guys, so we're going to draw the winner for this at 8:45. If you don't know what we're doing, we're giving a giveaway for the Fight Light hat, shirt, sticker, and coolie. And this is all just precursor to next Tuesday where we are doing this live stream again at the not the Louisville Armory, at the Redneck Riviera in Nashville, Tennessee on Broadway. That is John Rich, the country music star. That's his bar. We're going to be on the second floor. There's a private room on the second floor. It's a whole floor. All you got to do, tell them you're here with Tactical Rifleman. So if you guys you live within, I think Sue's coming and he lives 5 hours away. So if Sue can come, I'm an hour and a half away. So if me and Steve and everybody can drive down there, there's no reason why you guys can't drive or fly in. If you want to take your private Learjet, fly into Nashville, come hang out with us. We'd love to have you guys out there with us.
Hey, quick note. Coach is the guy that started Top Rank Boxing, which is huge.
Yep.
In Las Vegas after the 88 Olympics. They trained Riddick Bowe, Roy Jones, Michael Carbajal, Ray Mercer, and others for the 88 Olympics under Coach Ken Adams. Coach
cool.
is the man.
Coach is
Coach is
the
the
man.
man.
And what I like about Coach is he's just good people, mild-mannered. All right, so he's a VIP, but I had Big Al Crawford. You guys know Big Al. Big Al's son always comes and shoots with us, but his daughter was not pro-gun. She's kind of scared, right? She's a young girl, young lady. Coach brought out a 22 long rifle set up for accuracy, nice scope on it, and Coach laid down in the grass on my range, the 100-meter line, and laid next to her. I laid on the other side of her, and we talked this girl through shooting. And that day we had her shooting pumpkins.
Yeah.
First she was shooting paper, and then we're getting her on, showing her. And Coach was very, very patient with her. So how did it work out? Well, you understand, don't matter how good you think you are, the proof is in the student. She came back and wanted, she has her own rifle now. She made her dad get her own rifle. She's come out and shot a bunch more with us, did some shotgun work. I just dropped off that gun belt for Big Al's wife.
Okay.
So, anyways, guys,
Coach,
I ran out of coffee. All I have in it now is alcohol.
Real quick, and then we're gonna get to the giveaway. This is from Coach's son. He said he held 88 Olympic boxing training in camp in Fort Huachuca, Arizona. He's an all-Army boxing coach since the 1980s. Coach, I didn't know that. Wow. He's a trainer for Roy Jones. Helped design the Airborne Air Assault Badge.
Really?
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
That is.
Right? That's lived a cool life. Yeah, no shit.
He helped design the Air Assault Badge. Wow.
Wow.
I mean, guys, you meet people, you never know.
You never know.
know.
Steve Holland, when I first met Steve Holland, Steve he's not just a R&D guy who thought he knew everything because he had the background. What I liked about Steve was he wanted to know what the war fighters that were doing it right now actually thought. And that made me and Steve hit it off. Me and Steve became great friends. Right at the start of the global war on terror, Steve's like, take this, let me know what you think of it. Laser rangefinder from Leopold. Leopolds don't make lasers, by the way. So somebody else, and they put Leopold on it. I didn't go to Steve and say, you need to buy this for everybody. I didn't do that. But there are other stuff. I'm like, hey, this is awesome. We need more of this. And, but Steve has always been awesome to me, but you don't realize, I didn't realize Steve started the 5th Group Sniper Locker. I didn't know Steve was on a green light team before that. I didn't, there's just so much about, and Steve is a humble American. He's long-winded, like me, but Steve is humble also. But we did one of these live streams, guys, down at the Leatherwood Distillery, and Steve's daughter actually came. And how old's your daughter? 20-something?
No, she's 34.
34. So
she was 33. Well,
33-year-old young lady comes in only because her dad made her come to this bar full of gunfighting Green Berets and stuff. All the walls are just covered with pictures of Green Berets and stuff. And I'm pumping up her dad and everything. Got her dad on the show. I take a break for a second to go talk to the guests. And she looked at me. She's like, why are you doing this? And it kind of took me back. She's like, why do you have my dad up there? And I just looked at her and I said, because someday I want your grandkids to know how awesome their great-grandfather was. And right now it's not published anywhere. I want you to have videos on the internet to be able to show your kids and your grandkids so they know how great their grandfather or grandfather was. And honestly, I don't think you realize how awesome your dad was. And so this is for you too. And she just smiled at me and she walked away. And I'm like, okay, so it's not for her, I guess, but it's for her kids. For her kids.
You know the thing that gets me the most? whenever we have every year we have the 5th group reunion.
Fifth group
in
reunion,
August,
yep.
September. And all the old guys would come in. And the bartender, I was hanging out there for about maybe 2 hours. And she said, "Who are you?" I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Every group that I see is a group of guys from a certain year group, team
Yep.
guys. It goes all the way back through the 80s. And then there's the 90s, and then there's the 2000, and then the current guys." She said, "But every group of those guys in different year groups, they all know you,
Yeah.
and they don't know the other people in the 90s and the 2000s." I said,
Yep.
"Well, Stacy." I said, "Stacy, I came to group in 1984. She said, "Okay." I said, "I left group in 2008. That's 24 years. So the call always says the life cycle of a team is 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, generation. We
Yeah,
call it
generational.
generation. 3 or 4 years.
Team.
Yep.
And a lot of those guys didn't even know about Blue Light, which became Delta, or the Sante Raid,
Yep.
Green Light, which was
Jumping the monkey.
no. You don't jump the monkey.
The monkey jumps you. Steve has done a halo jumps with a nuclear weapon between his knees. And I don't mean that in a sexual way, ladies. Y'all can calm down. Y'all can calm down.
It wasn't me jumping. It jumped me.
He wrote it down and pulled the parachute at the correct altitude.
That just
You deployed the parachute.
It's more like a heavy cargo drop.
All right, guys, I got a few questions. We got to get caught up. Philip Wilson, Carl, any update on the TR2 rifle? It's actually not called the TR2. It is going to be the TR1A1. It is a piston, and I am told all my changes have been made. It's going to be at the NRA show. I will be there on Saturday. They're going to have it in the booth at Adams Arms. If I bless off on it, they will immediately start taking orders for it. So it is a piston gun, 13.7-inch barrel with a pinned Surefire War Comp, legal 16 inches. We will, down the road, have options for a full auto, but also a short-barreled version. But for right now, it is fully ambi. It has the TR logo on it. It is Cerakoted Coyote, and it is totally, totally badass. So that's the update on that. Guys, I got a few more questions here. I'm sorry I fell behind. If I missed your question, guys, I'm sorry. Kraken Tactical threw down 50 Australian quid of the King's money. I used to say the Queen's money, but the Queen died. You guys understand?
Why, man? Why can't she like passed away or the Queen died?
Dude, the Queen was.
The Queen has passed. Long live the King.
Long live King Charles and his venereal warts.
Okay, my wonderful wife asked me to tell Carl, when my daughter smiles after an explanation, that means she gets it. And thanks for the acknowledgement.
Okay, well, you tell your wife that I said to tell your daughter that we all love her and we're very proud of her dad. We are. Kraken Tactical threw down 50 Australian quid for you guys to buy some beers to was down your frog's legs and snails to wash down. I'm assuming he's wash down to wash down your frog legs and snails in a few weeks. You ever had an escargot? You ever eaten snails?
I think I did in Morocco.
I did once on that cruise ship. My wife made me go on a cruise, guys, this year. Actually, this year, my first cruise ever. And we're in a fancy restaurant and everything. I ordered escargot. And you know what it tasted like?
What?
Tasted like freaking snails. Tasted like snails. I was like, man, I've eaten this shit in the freaking. I've eaten this shit in the hide site. You know, I've eaten some bad shit in the hide site. I've eaten snake that I've killed in the hide site. Copperhead. No, serious heart attack.
Did you cook it?
3 separate times I have eaten copperhead in the hide site. I cooked it in the canteen cup.
Did they come uninvited?
Oh yeah. Nobody invites a copperhead into your hide site. Half the time they're there before you. You come crawling into the bush and you look and it's like, oh shit. You guys understand a copperhead's not a big snake, but when you are crawling on your belly in a ghillie soup, you understand you're only 6 inches tall. You're 6 inches tall, and he may only be 2.5 inches tall, but he's a lot longer than you are,
He
Sarge.
gets a lot of respect.
Whew.
Gets a lot of respect. So
I had my pruning shears one time. That's why I was clipping in the bushes,
shears, man.
and I did. I kind of took the stick because I got all the bushes, and I grabbed one of the sticks and just grabbed it and just pushed it down, and that pinned his head. I held that branch. I reached up my pruning shears and went snip up and cut like 3/4 of the way through his neck. I meant to cut the head all the way off.
don't ever touch a sniper's rifle, his ghillie suit,
And his pruning
shears.
shears.
Do not mess with his pruning shears.
Do not mess with his pruning
I mean,
shears.
if you're out there working and you run into some thick brush and some other stuff, and you reach back into your ghillie suit pocket,
They better be there.
it better be there.
Better be there.
Better be there. That changes everything.
Mine had bright orange plastic handles. I bought them at a True Value hardware store, and I had the handles covered up with duct tape, olive drab duct tape. Why didn't I just paint them? One, paint comes off, that would expose the orange, but if you wrinkle up duct tape, it breaks up the outline of the handles when they're laying on the ground. I'm serious. Snipers are mental about that stuff. All right, Blaine 5700. What's the farthest you have shot a 9mm pistol offhand, made a hit on a piece of steel? I went first round hits, one class in Texas with different coach Kevin Jimerson. We always do strong hand at 1 yard, like we start at 20. And then the next yard line 30, and then 40, we go strong hand, 50, support hand. We go back and forth. And the only reason why I do it is because I don't want to be the last one. I want the students to beat me. And because I'm big on strong hand and support hand, you need to train both of them. I had one class, I got first round hits out to 130, and it just pissed coach off to no end.
130, there's 130 feet?
130 meters. 130 meters, 9
You
mil.
hit a target with a 9mm pistol.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
130 yards.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Ask my students, guys. Ask my students. So, anyways, I was quickly out at. I think I went out at one. I went out at like 150 that time. The longest we've ever had was, again, Texas A&M cadets. Hannah. I'm working with the cadets down there. We were in Texas. No, where were we? Yeah, we were in Texas. We were in Austin, Texas. Little range outside of Austin, and everybody hit at 110. At 120, only the coach of the team, and the two females hit at 120. We were all out at 130 except for one female, Hannah. Hannah hit on her, you get 5 shots per yard line when we do final 5. She hit at 130, and then she hit like her second bullet at 140, and then she hit with her 5th bullet at 150. Now we're out in the parking lot. We are completely off the range. We're standing in the parking lot, but we're the only ones on the camp. She hit at 160. Now mind you, this is iron sights, Glock. Iron sights. Now I shoot with a dot, and I lollipop it on the front sight post, right, my dot, so that it allows me to get rid of parallax. She finally missed at 170, and Hannah has since graduated, and she's a surgeon. You want to talk about steady hands?
That's steady hands.
Right, because you guys see, I got that, can you guys see that little quiver? The problem I have is this is my shooting hand. All right, so, but I do the best I can, right? I do the best I can.
You know, when you said you hit at 130, and I was like, now if you'd have said Coach Merkson hit at 130, I'd have been like, I can see that.
All right.
Coach shoots 300 or 400 yards with 22 long rifle.
I shoot 9mm. We always finish the class with final 5. All right, you guys ready to do the giveaway? Let's see who my winner is. My moderator should have posted it. All right. Winner is Ground Fog. Ground Fog. If we got somebody in the chat room, the winner is Ground Fog. Congratulations on winning, guys. That is so awesome. He won the Fight Light hat, T-shirt,
Cooley
PVC patch and coolie. And here's what I need you to do, Ground Fog. I need you to take a picture of your avatar so I know you're not Ray Craddock pretending to be Ground Fog.
Ray!
And I need you to email it to tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com. That's tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com. And I will have my son mail this out in the next couple of days for you. Yeah, good stuff. Guys, I got just a couple more questions. I appreciate you hanging out with us. All right, we got 5 minutes left. Yeah, we got a couple more here. Nothing crazy. Yeah, that we already did that one. Next one, Havoc 442000. Man, that your mom must have had a box with wind just blowing through it. She got that many kids. Carl, which ATS tactical plate carrier would you recommend? An Aegis V2 or V3? One, I don't know the difference between the two off the top of my head, number one. But number two, I don't care what I want. And I don't want you to care what I want. What I want you to do is decide what is your situation, because your situation is different than mine, and what is your mission. And here's why. Some of their plate carriers, you can actually, it's got buckles on it. You can actually take the front off and use it as part of a chest rig. All right, so in other words, sometimes wear your armor, sometimes not wear your armor. They have body armor that can be cutaway also. So again, look at what your personal needs are, not just what some schmuck on the internet says he wants. All right. I have so many different sets of plate armor, guys. All right, I got one last question here. This is from Finn. What's your guys' opinion on a nationwide citizens militia, or does it already exist? All right, here's the deal, guys. The problem with a 250-year-old document is people like to read it verbatim. The problem with that is it's not, number one, most of you monkeys can't read cursive, so you got no idea what it says. All right, but if you get one that's actually typed out and hasn't been edited by the liberal media, you look at the actual words and you read it, a well-regulated militia being necessary too, okay? A lot of people, a lot of the left will scream well-regulated. In other words, you have to have a lot of laws and it should only be well-controlled. It has to be well-controlled. That's not Old English. All right, that's not how it was. That's not what they meant when they wrote it. Right? I understand regulations is what people are thinking today. So people think, well, that's the National Guard. All right, and you understand the state of New York actually has a New York militia. All right, it has a number and everything. It's been there for hundreds of years. All right, that's not what they're not talking about. The New York militia. They're not talking about the National Guard. If you go back to writing back then, the phrase something is well regulated, it means it is well supplied, well kept, and well trained. All right. So
Preach,
the right of all of you to have your right to bear arms shall not be infringed. And here's why. For my history buffs out there, there was a Japanese admiral that protested against to the emperor. We cannot put boots on the ground, because they were doing up plans to invade the west coast of America, and he's like, you cannot put ground. No, the phrase was, and again, it's loosely translated from Japanese. But there will be a rifle behind every blade of grass. There are over 40 million. It's either 40 million or 400 million. I know it's 40 something, but even if it's only 40 million, but I think it's 400 million. You understand that many firearms in the United States, right? Those guns do not hurt anybody. They do not. And for someone to say, well, if you outlaw guns, mass shootings wouldn't happen. You understand, if you outlaw knives, OJ never would have went to prison, right? It had nothing to do with a knife. It had nothing to do with O.J. Simpson going to jail.
Why you hating on OJ, man?
I love O.J. I'm a big fan of O.J. Simpson. The bitch needed to been stuck. I would have stuck her ass too.
Of all the people you can use for example, I mean, basically what he's trying to say is, people kill people.
I kill people. It has nothing to do with my guns. It has nothing to do with the guns.
You can try to kill somebody with a frying pan.
That's a fifth group joke. You guys don't need to get it. For my patrons, you ask me on our Patreon chat, I'll tell you what the frying pan means.
This ain't the tactical rifleman, this is a tactical frying pan.
All right, Charles is $320. Hey, Carl, Charles Blood. Charles, thank you for throwing down 20 quid.
Thank you for bleeding for
I
us,
appreciate it. Groundhog again, or ground fog. Ground Fog, congratulations on winning tonight. Here's the deal, guys. We're going to wrap this up. We've had a great live stream tonight. It's always awesome hanging out with you guys. Steve, thanks for coming in. What's the guy's name from Fight Light?
Jeff Harry.
Jeff Harry, guys. Jeff, thank you for your support, and thank you for your vision, because I love the concept of a belt-fed AR for the job of an automatic rifleman, even in a semi-auto version for my militias out there. But a lever-action AR is just priceless. It really is.
Real quick, here's some stuff from how do we do this?
The camera's right there, dude.
Okay, I know.
Okay.
From Coach's son. Coach is in the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame.
No shit.
Yeah, and they just did an interview with him yesterday. If you see right down here at the bottom, you can probably go to that link. And
they ain't gonna be able to read that, Steve. Yeah, Steve will go type it in the comment section under the video, guys. All right. Okay. Hey, again, if you want to help us out, take the Tactical Rifleman team over to Normandy, France. We're leaving in 2 weeks, and every little bit of money helps. So my I have this QR code, and you guys know I hate to pass the hat, but sincerely, we need help with this trip. I did not realize renting parachutes was going to be almost $3,000 per parachute. That's with the reserve and everything else per shoot.
Per shoot?
That's not counting
person?
Excess baggage fees. That's not counting plane tickets. That's not counting rental vehicles. That's not counting gas, which is twice the price what it is in the U.S.
Oh yeah.
And then the Airbnb. The cost of the Airbnb is 4 times what it for Normandy. The cost is raised 4 times of what it was back in November, because they know people need it, so you raise the price, right? That's supply and demand. I understand. So, anyways,
that's one of my pet peeves, man. When
supply and demand,
say
capitalism.
We're doing a show in Nashville,
yeah.
Right? And we do it 1 week and nothing's happening, and let's say the hotel room is $155 a night.
Yeah.
We do it again, and
it's a football game.
There's a hockey game, football game, or something, and the rooms are $475.
Oh yeah, no, dude, that's capitalism.
That's shameful.
Shameful, but it's capitalism. Better than socialism, guys. Better than socialism. It is what it is.
When we were going to Texas and Randy was driving, we stopped, and I had to text my wife and tell her about this, because I went to get a candy bar. A Snickers candy bar. And I just walked up and picked it up. A couple other things. Randy said, "You ready to go? Ready to go?" I put everything on the counter. And it was like, bloop. Bottle of Gatorade.
32 bottles.
And she got to the Snickers bar. One Snickers bar.
Yeah.
She'd say, beep. I looked up, $3.89. I said, wait a minute. This is a candy bar. This is like...
It's got that Willy Wonka golden wrapper in it.
It wasn't one of those big giant Snickers. $3.89. And then my wife told me today, she said, hey, I went to the grocery store to get some, what's that juice called? Prune juice.
Yeah.
$18. $18.
Yeah, it's just expensive. But you know what? If you guys need good military surplus equipment at a great price, you can go to Venture Surplus. I want to thank Venture Surplus for sponsoring the live stream tonight. And we will see you guys next Tuesday at the Redneck Riviera in Nashville. It's on Broadway.
And the reason we didn't go with the third floor, we like the third floor because we got the outdoor balcony. You can look down on Broadway and see all the crazy people. Well, Kid Rock's
bar is across the street. Too
and
loud.
He have like not a band like 3 or 4 people, had like 10-person band going, and it's
as fun as Kid Rock's bar is, and it's fun over there. The cool kids are going to be across the street at Redneck Riviera this Tuesday,
right.
so we'll see
right.
y'all
Check
there.
Eat their famous brisket burger. Oh my gosh, make me want to slap a doggone entrepreneur.
Y'all take care and shoot straight.
I'm gonna eat some brisket and slap a subscriber.
This part where you go, well, bye.
Coming right there.